as you can see, Carnations is the theme of today's webisode, and we've got a whole collection, but let me just entice you with one project that Teresa did, which I'll be showing you. And are you looking? Are you watching? Okay, I'm going to open it. Look what it does. It just folds out like that. How fun. And then on the back, you can write your message. Please come play with us. Well, let me just show you each of the products that we'll have. This is the 12 by 12 pattern cardstock with 12 sheets, and there are, of course, ideas on the back. Then to coordinate, in fact, everything coordinates, of course, we have the Carnations solid cardstock, again with 12 sheets, to each of all of those colors. To coordinate even more, we have 31 die cuts, and these are, you just pop them out of the backing, words, greetings, all kinds of shapes, really pretty. Again, ideas on the back. We also have the same papers in 6 by 6. You're going to get 24 sheets, 4 of each design, and 112 cutouts. I forgot to tell you, on the 12 by 12, you get 56 cutouts, so there's a lot to work with. And speaking of working with, we have Carnations chipboard, 23 pieces on this 6 by 6 piece. And then finally, we have the cutting die. And Carnations are really fun to do. You can do them out of the solid or the pattern cardstock, but we've also brought in some Italian crepe paper. We have 6 colors, so we've got white, we've got iris, yellow. This is Carmen, which is a deep, deep red. We've got a red violet, and then we also have a rose, which is a light pink. So you're going to see all of that, just lots of stuff. And before we get on to the cards that Teresa's made, I do want to take a moment and show you the scrapbooking page. This is a 12 by 12. The background paper is actually on the back side of this one, okay? And then the solid, we've got, this time Debbie did black and white photos. This is one of the cutouts. You can see the chipboard and the die cuts and a pretty purple bow. Lots of things going on. Okay, we'll get into Teresa's first card and getting closer so you can really see this. Now this is done on our 5 by 6.5 inch card. You can see that Teresa has cut the paper shorter so that the card becomes the outside mat. That's a really good look. So let me show you what she used, obviously, out of the Carnations. So this is the paper that she used for the back of her card, or I guess the back base of her card. You can see it has purple and blue carnations, really pretty. And then she used one of the cutouts. Remember I said there were over 50, and she has cut this one out. And there are 6 of these, all different colors, and some bigger greetings. She's cut that out, and she has matted it on this of the solid cardstock. Doesn't that look beautiful? As it should. And then has foam taped that to her card. However, before she foam taped it, she did use a ribbon out of the blue. This is a crepe ribbon to wrap around, and then she tied a bow after she did her flowers. We'll talk about the flowers in just a second. In fact, we'll talk about the flowers right now. So here is the cutting die. And I did do this process in the product video that you will see on all of the products in this collection. But just to give you another rundown, so if you are using crepe paper, in fact, I'm going to do it on crepe paper, you've got a 6 3/4 inch long piece here. It's 3/4 of an inch wide, and we made it narrow so they're not going to pooch up too much. And because you have crepe paper, you can stretch it. Now, regular crepe paper, in fact, we did try dollar store crepe paper. It just didn't work. It didn't stretch. But this Italian crepe paper, look what it can do. So it's going 4 times the size just by doing that. So you can do that before you roll it up, or you can do it afterwards. I'm doing it before just to let you see how much this will really stretch. So very nice. Now we're going to use our Cosmic Shimmer Specialist glue, and we're going to run it along the bottom edge. So let me lay that out just like that. See, it kind of goes into a circle. Now here's the specialist glue. I'm just going to run a bead of glue along the bottom edge. And, you know, there's nothing tricky about this. It just really works smoothly and easily. Okay, you can see that. Now I'm going to start rolling it up. And the only thing I want to do is get my petals in the open area of the last row. So I'm going to just do that, and then I'm going to start rolling. And it doesn't have to be very tight. You can if you like, or you can just do what I'm doing and just roll this little puppy up. And you'll kind of pinch it at the bottom. And yes, you will get glue on your fingers like I'm getting, which is perfectly fine. I am trying to keep this top edge even, so you can see that. And that way my flower will be kind of even. And we will be attaching these. You can use Zots, you can use the specialist glue. I kind of like Zots when I get things that are thicker like this. Okay, so you can see it right there. Let me rub this glue off. And then the next step is to fluff this out. And you can be really tough with this flower. You can see how that's just spreading out. You can even smash it if you want to. Yes, that's just fine. I like a little drama in my webisodes. So that becomes our carnation. Now you can leave it, like I said, this is the crepe paper. You can also do it out of the solid or pattern cardstock. You can also do some other things with it. So if I wanted to take this and maybe do a purple, see, this is the violet ink pad, I can just do that on the edge, and I'm going to get a different look. So you can just do lots of things. You can play lots of ways with this carnation cutting die. Very, very fun. And you'll get, I think, about 20 or more carnations out of this pack, so that's like a nickel each. So that's not bad either. Okay, back to our card. So Teresa has made, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flowers. You always want to do an odd number. Then she has gone in with the solid cardstock to do her stems and leaves. I'll kind of bring that back so you can see the stems and leaves. And she's also done the these little filler flowers in the pink and also in the white. So that is, there you go, it's that little piece. It just adds a nice finish to the flowers, which is why we wanted to have that whole collection for you. Now, the greeting is out of the die cuts, and here it is. My sincere thanks, or sweetest thanks, whichever you like. And then on the inside of the card, so this is all the kind of blue-purple collection. On the inside, she's marrying the two of them, and you can see that this is the front side. So this was the paper used on the front of the card. This is the other side of the paper. You can see that she's trimmed it down and used it on the inside. And then she took a piece of the blue, in fact, here it is, and cut a strip and put it right along the fold. And then she has used the a cutout. So the Grateful for You, that's out of the 12 by 12, that's right here. She's foam taped it on top. And then she's added some of the thin line border dazzles. So this is black, white, gold, silver. You can see the silver edges there. It just works really, really nicely. So that finishes this very first card. And isn't that fun? And these, you know, you can smash these. They're really durable. So that's really fun. Okay, let's get into our next card. Let me show you what she has done. And this is also doing something with those carnations. But before we get there, let me show you what she's done. So for her base, again, 5 by 6.5 inch card. And she has used this light blue. I just showed it to you a minute ago. And this has been cut to be, again, smaller than the card. So that's going to work nicely. And then she has used our wood texture embossing folder. Now, it's been a little while since I've seen that, and she simply embossed it, and then she used the Velvet Fawn ink pad to get a little bit of color over the embossing folder. Just that easy. And you just do it. And then she's matted it on tan cardstock. I'd put it right there. Now, I do want to tell you that, you know, we've seen 3D embossing folders. They've become very popular, a little more expensive, but very popular and very wonderful. This one really does a great job of embossing deeply, so I just want to share that with you. Okay, back to our card. Now, the other die that Teresa used is this. So it's kind of fun to bring in some older dies to reuse them. This is All Seasons Oval Wreath, and there you go. She's cut it out of two, a tan and a brown cardstock, and slightly overlap them so you get a little more depth into that, that oval. Just really pretty. Now, she's also done something a little different with our carnations. She brought in the 4.5-inch professional scissors, and she snipped them. I'm going to take back my carnation that I inked, and I'm going to do what Teresa did. So there's some glue on my hand. Doesn't take long for that to happen, does it? And then she went in and just snipped. So she just snipped, and voila, what you're going to get is a fluffier carnation. Didn't know that you didn't know you could get so many looks with carnations, but you can. In fact, you can even make them striped. Okay, so simply do that, and look at the colors that she's used too. Very fun. So this is the iris, the white, and the red velvet. Really, really pretty. A little bit of the white ribbon down here. The Thinking of You. Well, the Thinking of You comes from our die cuts right there. She's foam taped that, just going over. Now, for the leaves and so forth, that of course is part of the carnation, so nothing to add there. So that works nicely. Then on the inside of the card, look what she's done. She has taken, now on the first card she used this one, but this time she used one down at the bottom. Now, they already have the carnations placed for you, so super easy peasy with that. And then she matted it on this coordinating solid cardstock. It goes right there. The Because I Care, that was also one of the die cuts. You can see it right there. And it too is not foam tape, that's just been flat and glued in place. So very, very fun, but we have more. Okay, on to our next card, and here is what Teresa has done. Now, this card has something special going on. Mostly they do, all of them do, but look at this. When I open it, it's going to stand up, and there is an insert in there. Do you see how that pops down? Just like that. Very fun. And on the back side, want to make sure that I remember that. Okay, so let me show you how this has been done. So you're going to end up with two pieces of cardstock. And what Teresa did is that she used this of the solid cardstock. It's darker pink on one side and lighter pink on the other. And you can see that this card is darker pink on the inside, which creates kind of a nice shadow, lighter pink on the outside. She's cut two pieces of the cardstock. The first one is to create the base, and it is 10 by 6. Then she scored, coming from the left as we usually do, at 1/2 inch, 2 3/4, 5 inches, and 10 inches. Now we're going to fold this, and we're going to fold a mountain fold, a valley, a mountain, and another mountain at the end. Okay, you can see that extra sticky tape, our very favorite 1/4 inch extra sticky tape, looks like this, has been placed along the fold line, the last fold line along each of those 1/2 inch tabs. Now And that's it for this. So we're just going to set this aside. Then we're going to cut another piece that is going to be 6 inches by 5 inches. Then, I'll bring back the card so you can see, then Teresa cut another piece of the patterned cardstock. And this is out of the 6 by 6 pack. And here it is. So she trimmed it down and glued it to the front of her 5 by 6 piece. Okay, doesn't have the hole in it yet. Okay, so it's just these two pieces. Then she took our rectangle and scalloped cutting die and placed it and cut this piece out of the two pieces that are glued together. Okay, so then you've got one piece. So pretend like this has got a decoration on it, okay? I know what I'll do. This is going to give you a decoration. Got it? Okay. Now, we're going to take the first piece. Jeanette just laughed. Did you hear her? We're going to take the first piece and we're going to turn it over and we're going to bring it like this. This is what's going to happen. So those two pieces are going to go flat. Then we're going to put this piece right on top. And that will create our window. And it also holds the card together. So just like that. Now we can go into the inside of our card. And the inside of our card is going to be a scallop piece. In fact, you can see it here. And it's going to be out of the lavender Carnations paper. So you're going to do that. Then you're going to put 2 strips of the extra sticky tape. Now both of them are within 1.5 inches of the bottom. So this is the only part that's going to be attached to our card. And it's going to get attached to that riser. It's on the inside. So after you decorate this, it's going to get attached like so in the center. And then your card, when it opens, that will slide and it will give this illusion of the window. In fact, you get some depth to it. So that works out nicely. Now, what did she do to decorate all of this? Well, she used the chipboard. So here is the chipboard. And it's a piece of it here. In fact, I'm going to bring in my craft mat because Teresa did a couple of different things. Well, something with this piece of chipboard, and then something else with the next card with the chipboard. So let me show you. These are all of the Prism inks that she used. So we've got blue in 2 shades. We have got violet and orchid. We have got greens in 2 shades, and then we have lipstick. All of those are what she used. Nice that they're $2 each and they won't break the bank. So the technique that she used is that she used the blending brushes to attach the ink to the chipboard. So I'm just going to do one right here just to give you an idea. So I'm going to take the lipstick and I'm going to do my blending brush and just do it all over like so. And I will tell you right now that I should have pulled it out of the backing. So let me do that. I'll just kind of show you how easy that is. So I didn't worry about getting it all the lipstick color because I'm going to come in with orchid and I'm going to do the technique of just doing the edges. So here I go, just coming along the edges. And you can see how it darkens them and just does a nice job of giving some depth to a flat object. Okay. So there you go. So that's what she's done, and that's why all the colors, it just works really, really nicely. Now, in the camera, that's looking really light, but in person, that's looking very pink. So you can play with that and do as you want. But this gives you an idea of how Teresa has created this look with all of those inks and the blending brushes. And you can see the greens on the stems and the blue in the flowers, the purple in the butterflies, just really pretty. So this collection has been glued to that inner piece. she added some dazzles along the edges, and this is our straight line dazzle. This is the package that has black, white, gold, and silver. You can see she put the silver with the carnations right there. And then she put more of the chipboard where that greeting, sending you a warm hello, that is in the cutout sheet in the 6x6 collection. So you can see a little bit of pink ribbon right there, and that finishes the card front. But you know, you might be thinking, okay, well, where do you write your message? Well, how about the back? In fact, what she has done is because she used the solid cardstock, it's already got color on it, then she went in and used the rectangle dies again onto the solid dark pink. This is the light pink in the carnations, and this is another of the die cuts. In fact, it's Happy Birthday right there. Turned it and added some colored chipboard on top. Really, really pretty. What a fun thing to get and to let it stand up on your counter and give you a pretty greeting all day long every time you look at it. Okay, I have one more card, and this is the one that has a surprise to it. In fact, when I showed it to you at the beginning, you just open it like that. So it has this nesting kind of Russian doll thing, doesn't it? Of small, medium, big, and large. So let me show you how we do that. And again, this is done with the 6x6. And let me show you what we do. So we're going to cut each of these pieces. They're easy, and it goes together very easily. So we're going to have a 10x6 piece of cardstock. Going to score at 2 inches and at 4 inches. There you go. Make a mountain fold and a valley fold. This is going to be the opening of our card. Now, when you go to decorate it, bring Teresa's back in. She has used this of the carnations, oh so pretty, on the inside of her card, so it gets trimmed down a little bit. And notice it is smaller than the card. You know, I forgot to tell you, I'm sure you regular viewers know it, but down below you'll see each of the 4 cards. You can click on any of them or all of them. You will see the written instructions over on the right side of your screen. You can print them off if you want to. I know many of you like to do that. Or you can just look at them. You can also see the supplies that she used for each one. So I forgot to tell you that. Now you do get 4 of each sheet in the collection of the 6x6. So the full one goes inside, but this piece is going to get trimmed to go right here and to go right here. Let me show you on the finished card. Right there and right there. Now that process of the facing side and then the right side is going to happen on all of these pieces, okay? So on this, Teresa has used the yellow and on the front and on the inside, so that just coordinates her look. Okay, so now we're going to go to the other pieces, and they're going to be graduating sizes. So this one is 5.5 by 3 1/4. Going to score it at 1.5 inches, 3.5 inches, 5 inches. You can see where the extra sticky tape goes, and that is because this is going to attach to the card, like so. Then this piece is going to curl around and create a stand, just like that, okay? That's why you want to cover these to begin with. Now with this, we're going to cover this and this side, okay? And for that, we're going to use the pink, this sheet. So again, you have 4 of them, so you're going to cut a little piece and glue it here and glue it here. Then you're going to do another rectangle, 4.5 by 2.5, 1 inch, 3 inches, 4 inches. You see the tape. We're going to do the same thing. Going to fold these are all mountain folds. And then this is going to go against here. And you're going to decorate this side and this side. And we have one last piece, 2 3/4 by 1.5. Scored a 1/2 inch, 1 3/4, 2.5. put just 2 pieces of tape when you get this tiny. We're going to do the same thing, and that's going to attach to the last end, okay? And to decorate these, Teresa went back to the chipboard because there are just so many pieces, 23 pieces. And this time she used one of our favorite things, which is the tri-blend markers. Now Teresa has listed the 24-piece kit in her instructions. You can certainly buy them individually, and you can see that you're going to need pink and green and yellow and blue and purple. So you can use those, or you can use the ink pads, whatever you like, but they are going to be added to it. And then finally, Teresa also used some of the cutouts, but also some of the die cuts as she has put this together. And you can see, again, she has used dazzles. In this case, it is the colorful thin line dazzles. So in this case, she's got the shiny mirror gold, and you can see how it just extends on every single section. So your eye is just drawn all the way through, no jarring jig-jags on those dazzles. And the back side, where we have our greeting, well, she's done the same thing. She's used that same yellow with some of the yellow solid, and this is one of our die cuts. The more candles, the bigger the wish. Those are words to live by, and it's right there for you. So as you can see, there's just so much you can do with carnations. So this is our 12 by 12, our solid. I'm running out of table here. Our die cuts, our 6 by 6, our chipboard, our cutting dies, and Italian crepe. And we did look a lot of places to find that for you. So we did a lot of testing of crepe paper. So that's everything. There is a money saver over on the right-hand side of your screen. And speaking of savings, if you are interested, every month we release a collection. I'm sure you know that by now. If you are interested in all of the papers and the die cuts and the chipboard, we call that I Want It All. If you sign up to get this every month, you will get a 20% savings, quite a significant thing, and you will get everything. You will get it before the webisode, so you have a chance to touch it and feel it and maybe look at the instructions on the back of the packaging. If you really want to have all of it, I mean really want it all, we'll add the cutting die. This time we will add one of the crepe papers. It's going to be whatever random one we have, but it's going to be one of the 6, and that will come to you early. We haven't done that before, but we are doing it this time. Again, there's a 20% off retail, which is really, really nice, and you do get absolutely everything. Well, you only get one of the crepe papers, but that'll give you a chance to test it out and try it. So that's my story this time. I appreciate, absolutely love what Teresa does, love sharing it with you, and hope if you are watching this on YouTube, well, of course, we want you to like us. Of course, we want you to subscribe. Please head on over to paperwishes.com. Take advantage of that money saver on the right side of your screen. And leave a comment. We would love to hear from you. Tell me what you think, and I hope you try the crepe paper. I think you're going to like it. It's sort of fun. Thank you all, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.